people. Here's RT's Caleb Maupin.
After 10 months, Joe Biden has finally gotten around to nominating somebody to run the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. That is certainly an important post during the pandemic. The nominee is Robert Califf, and he's faced some tough questions in Washington.
You currently own up to $8 million in stock of major pharmaceutical companies. How can the American people feel comfortable you're going to stand up to this powerful special interest?
Bernie wasn't exaggerating. Califf is a cardiologist turned multimillionaire, and he's been deputy commissioner at the FDA since 2015. Alarm bells have consistently been going off about how well connected he is. Emails revealed he'd been having cozy meetings with lobbyists of the very companies he's supposed to be regulating. Watchdogs raised their concerns.
I expressed concerns regarding the recent nomination of Dr. Robert Califf to lead the Food and Drug Administration and to urge the committee to reject his nomination.
Califf worked with lobbyists to put together a new bill that would fast-track new drugs onto the market, cutting back on the procedures put in place to make sure the public is safe. The bill he helped write, along with Big Pharma lobbyists, laid out a method for using real-world evidence rather than double-blind studies before putting out new drugs. However, Califf says he was doing it for the greater good.
The way trials are currently done is so expensive that there's no return on investment for these kinds of trials. So I think I'm going to throw it back at you and say banding together and making this happen as a matter of practice is critical. I would also add, you need to be vociferous.
When Califf was out of government in 2017, he wasn't unemployed for long. He worked for Bitterroots Bio, Boehringer Ingelheim Pharmaceuticals, and Centessa, all of them big drug companies. Califf's stock portfolio lists over 30 companies he has over $100,000 invested in. He's got $500,000 in Amgen and Bristol-Myers Squibb and $250,000 invested in Gilead Science. He's got $2 million in Cytokinetics and a whopping $5 million in Centessa. Talk about a conflict of interest. His ethical reviews, however, say that he's in full compliance with the law. But it gets worse.
I can't fathom why we would confirm someone whose actions failed to swiftly curb the tide of the opioid epidemic and protect the public's health, especially someone who's already helmed the FDA as its commissioner.
The issue that came up on Capitol Hill was the opioid epidemic, with painkiller medications being handed out a bit too freely, turning millions of Americans into addicts. As the fallout continued, Dr. Califf was pressed on the FDA's decision not to update the labeling on opioid medications back in December. He said that the agency would continue to review the evidence coming in. That provoked more criticism.
The evidence has been here for a long time. It's the evidence of thousands of people, hundreds of thousands of people dying in this country.
Now, the big pharmaceutical companies have no real objection to their buddy Bobby. This is what a top lobbying firm said about him.
Congratulations to Dr. Robert Califf for being nominated as the next commissioner of the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. It's vital that we have a commissioner who understands the important role the FDA plays in promoting public health and providing science-based oversight of our nation's medicine supply.
And some on Capitol Hill think that he's ideal for the position.
I'm not sure you could write a resume of somebody more qualified to be considered for commissioner of the FDA.
Now, that was U.S. Senator Richard Burr, who has also got a relationship with big drug companies. Now, the FDA is supposed to be monitoring the activities of big pharmaceutical corporations, holding their feet to the fire, making sure they do everything possible to protect the public. So, for such a position, wouldn't it be ideal to have somebody who wasn't cozy with them and their lobbyists? Just a thought. Caleb Maupin, RT, New York.
We are back with Max and Stacey again in moments for the latest slice of Kaiser Report action. Stay tuned for that, then I'll catch you all again at the top. Bye for now.